Welcome back everyone. Today I'll be analyzing the high bar skills and routine of Olympic high bar champion EPKE Zonderland from the Netherlands. EPKE is a 4-time Olympian and he was a 2012 Olympic champion on the high bar as well as 3-time world champion on the high bar. That's a span of 12 years at the Olympic level. He's known for his very difficult and complicated consecutive release moves on the high bar. His innovative combinations have set him apart from the other gymnasts and lifted him to legendary status on the high bar as well. He's exciting to watch. He has great combinations and difficulty and a very aggressive technique. Let's get started with the analysis. He starts off with a stem into a mixed grip endo-stalter, full pirouette into L grip. This is a uniquely high backswing to generate a high and powerful front swing into his endo-stalter. He shows very nice flexibility and compression in his endo-stalter and makes sure to hit the handstand before initializing his full pirouette. He keeps his shoulders and his body weight leaning far to the side. This helps him square off his body angle after his full pirouette, and it also helps get his hand back onto the bar to regrab. His open shoulder angle also helps him get his hand back on the bar. Very comfortable. He actually uses this pirouette to create speed and power into his giant swings leading into his release series. Notice the bar is completely horizontal on this giant swing. However, on the giant swing before his release moves, he lifts the bar up and has a bounce in his handstand. This is part of his tap swing, which is the natural pike arch pike position the body uses when swinging around the bar. The bounce in the handstand before his release delays the natural pike arch pike tap and helps him fly back over the bar rather than away from the bar like a dismount. Having the correct timing of a tap swing is the key to consistency in release skills and dismounts. This pronounced arch here allows him to kick very strong back over the bar, creating good flip rotation. This release move is called a casina and it's a back 1.5 flip over the bar in the laid out position with a full twist re-catching the high bar. Very difficult. He sees the bar the entire time throughout this skill. For the gymnasts out there, essentially this breaks down like an Arabian dive roll with a half pirouette out regrab. It's normal to grab one hand at a time slightly as the body is completing its full twist. Now imagine this. He's just flown back over the bar, doing a full twisting layout 1.5 flip, and now he has a microsecond to decide if he's at the proper distance from the bar to create enough power in his swing to attempt his next release move, which is a Kovacs or a tucked 1.5 backflip over the bar, re-grabbing the bar. Interesting, he keeps his head down longer than the average gymnast to find his bearing and better help him re-grab the bar after his flip. Well done. Again, he must decide and feel almost instantly if he is catching the bar at the proper distance. In this case, he catches at the ideal position and launches into his Coleman. A Coleman is a tucked casina or a full twisting Kovacs in the tuck position. Nice strong arch into his kick, which helps his flip rotation. Notice here he's still squared up and has not yet started his twist. This helps establish good flip rotation. If you twist too early, it can stall the flip rotation. The earlier he gets his hands back on the bar, the more time he has to square up his body and readjust his hands to make sure he catches the bar comfortably. Really well done. If he's too far from the bar on any of these release moves, he'll not be able to re-grab and he'll fall. If he's too close, like this video of me, he'll not have enough power to swing into the next very complicated release move. It really is a matter of inches. Look at EPKE's commitment to stay on the bar in this far catch as he can only get one hand back to the bar, and he does a one-arm giant out of his Kovacs, avoiding a fall. What a great and brave effort. This is the big challenge with doing these very difficult release moves immediately one after the other, and nobody in the world does these release sequences more consistently than EPKE. Really incredible high bar work. Occasionally he would do a layout Kovacs as well. It seemed he had such good technique on his tap swing and such good air sense and body awareness of where the bar was, he could do whatever release moves he wanted to. Here he does a Stalter Rabalko, which is a Stalter with 1.5 twists into the L grip. Here's a closer look at what the L grip is. This is the position his hands are in after the Stalter 1.5 twist. He shows good compression in his Stalter, and as he starts his turn, he changes his hands after the first half turn. Now watch how he throws his arm around to the side, not only to create twist rotation, but also to help keep his body squared up straight. He keeps his shoulder angle very open here to help get his hand back on that bar comfortably, making this very difficult skill look pretty comfortable for him. Now he prepares to stoop his legs in close to the bar to do a half Takamoto, or a stoop with a half turn to a handstand. He also does a full Takamoto, or full talk. Now I put them side by side so you can see the similarities in technique but the differences in skill. They exit the stoop very similarly, but on the left, or the full talk, he posts and pushes on that arm the entire time he completes the full pirouette, where on the right, or the half talk, he simply grabs the bar after his half turn to a handstand. Immediately out of his half talk, he does a Gaylord 2, or a back 1.5 flip with a half turn to re-catching the bar in reverse grip. Again, strong arch and kick to create good flip rotation. You can see his toes fly back back over the bar, and as they go down, his chest rises up into the half turn. For the gymnasts out there, this breaks down like an Arabian dive roll and catching the bar in reverse grip. It's also like a ginger over the bar, doing a front flip and catching in reverse grip. He catches this one pretty close, and it takes away from the power in his swing, but he does a good job of fighting through to get back into giants. He does not bend his arms here, which is the most common deduction in giant swings out of major releases, but he does close his shoulder angle and use strength in the planche to press back up to a handstand position. A really good fight, trying not to give up any more deductions than he has to. When he catches at the ideal position, we can see how smooth and rhythmical the Gaylord 2 looks, swinging easily into giant swings out of it. Quickly, and you may find it interesting from the early 80s, here's Olympic gold medalist Mitch Gaylord, the creator of the Gaylord 1 and 2, performing his Gaylord 1, or tuck double front over the bar recatch, and also performing his Gaylord 2, which we just saw EPKE perform. Now back to EPKE. Here's another look at his full Takamoto. He did the skill very late in his routine, actually just a couple skills before his dismount. It's very difficult to end this skill in a handstand position, and on this one, he does this very well. Nice work. Now a pirouette preparing for his dismount. He's slightly over vertical here, but moves right into his quast or hop full turn over the bar, catching in a handstand. He does this skill uniquely clean and squares off very nice in a handstand position. Now he cranks two powerful giants preparing for his dismount, which is a laid out double-double or a double layout flip with two twists, clean and easily done. He was always focusing on sticking his dismount, and I would say he stuck this dismount way over 50% of the time. He squarely initiates his flip rotation before cranking his double twist. Look how wide and strong he throws his arm across his body to create twist rotation. Really powerful. Excellent form in the air, and he spots the ground early to focus on controlling his landing. Nice duck landing here. Really nice, unique, and great high bar work. EPKE ZONDERLAND changed the way many gymnasts approach their high bar work by setting the trend of performing very difficult multiple release combinations. We do see some multiple flip release combinations these days, but because they're difficult and hard to be consistent with, many athletes still don't pursue these risky type of combinations. EPKE was very unique in that he was bold enough and consistent enough to incorporate multiple flip release moves in combinations. His consistency with these release sequences did help him become 3-time world champion and Olympic champion on the high bar. It's not just his medals that have raised him to legendary status, but the respect from his peers and the gymnastics world that recognizes his incredible high bar skills. As always, thanks for checking out my analysis, and I hope you got some value out of it. When you like and subscribe, you'll be notified each time I release more videos like this. Also, feel free to leave any thoughts you might have in the comments. Until next time, all my best and rock on.